What's happening, everybody? It's Bad Brad. Yes, yes, starting your New Year's Eve right. Coming on live. And let's just say this is the grown folks New Year's Eve celebration. Let's see if we can get some people in here, get the party started right. I'm not going to open the caffeinated beverage until we get everybody in here. But yeah, this is grown folks. That's what they call the older R&B clubs. They call them grown folks. Dave, what's happening, brother? Salute to you. Glad to have you. Let's just give right out of the gate a salute to Dave, who has had an incredible 2024, coming back from the brink. CC, how you doing? Jerry, Phoenix, Jeff, man, I'm having just water here too, brother. Uh, Man, Phoenix, I think you're doing better, brother, and that's always good. Scott going to ring in the new year with Eric Gales. Oh, Scott, that is gonna be amazing. Man, happy New Year's to everybody. Yeah, salute to Dave because he came back from the brink of death, and he is strong. He is come back, and he is stronger and better than ever. So here's a water salute to you, brother. Wow. So we've already got 22 people in here. That is absolutely incredible. It's been an absolutely amazing year on this channel, man. Growing this thing from absolutely nothing to where it is now and where it could potentially be. And yeah, man, CC, Dave really transformed himself, man, and it's incredible. It's incredible. Uh, yeah, Eric Gales. I'd say it'd be hard to top that concert tonight. Right on, right on. Hello, rockers. Recently found your content. Hold on, let's see. This is Precisionetics. You're one of the few that I follow because it's actually very life affirming content. Thank you. Thank you. That's what I try to be, man. I try to be about reality, life affirming, and pondering why we all here. It's through the lens of a guitarist, it's through the lens of a musician. But as Dave can tell you, Dave, plays a little bit of drums, but he's not a musician. But this channel has helped him. And man, if you can help one person in life, it makes everything worthwhile. And, I wanted to make sure I came on tonight. We're not having any, yeah, thank you, CC. This is such a great group of people. And, yeah, Dave is a booze survivor. And man, let me tell you something. The Strongs know how to knock them back. I've knocked back a few with several Strongs back in my day. But yeah, Knoxville, Fred. All right. Yes, Fred, we're going to make 2025 awesome. It's going to be an awesome year. Sydney, Australia. Right on, Chris. Stay sane, put down your phone, pick up a guitar. I love that. I love that. But I have to keep the phone up in order to do this live. So I would encourage everybody, if you've got your guitar nearby, go ahead and practice while I'm putting on the show, man. Because this show is really about you. Max, how you doing, brother? Man, we've got a good crew in here because look, like I said, the older R&B clubs, they don't cater to the kids, and they say this is grown folks. We play music for grown folks. Well, this is the grown folks New Year's Eve event. Will any of us, will I make it to midnight tonight? Probably not. So yeah, there you go. Right on, Dwayne. Yeah, you know what? Yeah, Dave, I hear you, man. It's all about, doing what entertains you. And man, I'm just thankful that everybody tunes in. Right on, CC, Clatsop County, Oregon. Right on, man. I'm just thankful to have everybody. Canada, believe and achieve. I love that name, man. I love that name of your channel or whatever you're putting out on YouTube. I love that. from Australia. Right on, Matt. Thank you. So so Chris, is it already the new year the next day? You guys are already in 2025. We're still, back here. We're behind the times, and we're still in 2024. And I figured, man, we could catch a wide swath of people and catch them before they go out to party tonight. This is your pregame. So if you are gonna go out, if you're in the States and you're going out tonight to revel, be careful. Everybody, be careful out there. I am gonna crack open a caffeinated beverage. Ooh, ooh. No partying for you, Jack. I hear you, brother. There's not going to be any partying for me either. After watching you play Hot Rod Lincoln the other night, I learned it. Right on, Bo. Right on. Tell you what, it's a good workout. It's a workout lick, and that first half of that, boom, you could run that up 3 octaves. And it's a cool starter lick for like a country solo or something. It's a cool lick, man. You encouraged me last week to turn on that ignored B3 and play some Exodus music. Oh my God, Jeff. So let me tell this story. So Jeff in the comments was telling me, and I think he's a little bit older than me, but not by much. And he's an old B3 player, and he's got a B3 in his house, and it's just been sitting there for years. And his wife said, I remember this story. His wife said, "You never play and sing to me anymore." And I'm like, dude, fire up that B3 and play some Christmas music. Play some Christmas music. And you know what? He did it. And it made him feel better. P Funk, how you doing, brother? Joe Walsh had a cool practice lick. Yeah, into life in the fast lane. Yeah, exactly, man. It's one of those licks. Trying to play Hot Rod Lincoln drove me to drinking. Styles, I hear you. It's harder than you. It's an easy lick, but it's not easy to play up to tempo. And it's just one of those. I've got a couple little quirky little things that I'll do if I'm just trying to warm up my hands. Not even that it'll be anything that I play the whole night. Thank you, Lauren. Thank you so much. Another cool country lick for someone who hates country. Uh, Bo, I'll try and show you one. This is a super easy lick. And you can, let me see if I don't know if you guys can hear that, and I've got the wrong tone on here. 1 second. Let me get a clean tone. Okay. So check this out. Here's an easy. So check it out. If you're in A, and you got these 2 notes, right? A, and that's what's that? B, C sharp, third of A, right? And then you put your pinky, I got a delay on there I don't really need, but you put your pinky on the 7th, right? The flat 7 of A. And then you go. See that lick, right? Now you could play a whole solo with that licks, just like Hot Rod Lincoln. So there you have it. That's an easy lick, and I can't play real loud because Mia crashed out early. That's a classic country lick. And look, I don't know very many country licks. So I was only lucky to tour with a few country acts because the music changed, and let's face it, there was maybe a brief window where they needed guys like me that could play loud, edgy rock guitar and occasionally some twangy. I would learn the solo. If there was a chicken pick solo, I would learn it on on from the record. Happy New Year, John. Glad to have you here. I can't play real loud tonight because Mia sacked out early tonight. We went to lunch today, and then we went to one of those places where they have games where you can win, stuff in the little I don't know what it concession stand or whatever. And so we played some games for a little while, but yeah, she's out. So yeah, 54 people in here. Let's get the thumbs up, man. I'm gonna tell you what's coming up on the channel. All right. Now, Cece, I know you're familiar with the big brouhaha with Uncle Larry and the guy. uh, I know you, if you're still there, CC, that I did do a video commenting on this online feud going on between people, arguing over new guitars and vintage guitars. I did put out my response to that. I don't know if I'm going to put it out tomorrow, or maybe I just sit on it for a week. It's like a hot thing, and I'm not, look, my channel's doing good. I don't need to get into it with trolls or anything like that, because I've figured out what I need to do, and I'm building it. I'm building it the old-fashioned way. I'm not doing any trickery. I'm not paying anybody to get subs, or I'm not actively really going after anybody to try to get, troll points or anything like that. But this Sunday, if you don't know, I've got James Michael, the lead singer for the band 6 a.m. I did an interview with James Michael. First time I'd ever, I think, talked to this guy in length. We might have met in passing before. But, the dude produced Motley Crue. The guy wrote songs for Motley Crue, Kelly Clarkson, Meatloaf, Saliva, who else? Hammerfall, and Papa Roach. And man, incredible guy, super cool guy, the nicest guy you want to ever meet. You wouldn't think that a guy that nice would exist in the music business, and he's a cool guy, man. And he's been watching this channel. And he says, dude, I'm obsessed with your channel. And the reason being is he was out in LA the same time that I was. And he says, dude, your memory is so much better than mine. And I just watch your channel. What's up, Chris? He goes, I watch your channel because it helps me remember what was going on. And I go, oh yeah, I remember that. How did bands like Red Hot Chili Peppers fit in Hollywood during the Sunset Strip times they were playing there? Right, they were pretty different. That's a great question, Sir Thomas. That is a great question. And I'll attempt to answer that as best I can. I think P-Funk, you can attest to that. Yeah, Dave, it's going to be really good. I can attest to the Red Hot Chili Peppers. One, they were already a thing before we even really were, doing our stuff out there. Yeah, he has an amazing voice, super strong in the band 6 a.m. Yeah, he's a great writer. He's a great producer. And we even had the same day gig at the same place. So you've got to watch that interview. It's this Sunday at 8 a.m. But getting back to the Red Hot Chili Peppers, man, we were big fans. I know P-Funk and me. Remember the special secret song inside P-Funk? Remember that song? Yeah, Chili Peppers were an underground. Look, there was a whole underground rock scene as well that was going on. And I think Bird, our friend Bird, went to school with the Chili Peppers and the guys in Fishbone. There's this whole other scene of musicians, and those guys in some ways were more plugged in than us yahoos who moved out from BFE to go play on the Strip. Yeah, yes, they were more like a punk funk band, a funk band that's like a punk rock funk band. They were way cool back in those days, but I really feel like they were off in their own scene. They had their own. There was an underground scene in LA that they were in the right place at the right time. Yeah, so our old buddy that we worked at the pawn shop, we called him Bird, but his name is Ron. And Ron went to school with the Chili Peppers. He went to school with Fishbone, and I think it was Hollywood High. I think it was Hollywood High that they all went to school together. So he knew those guys, all right? And they were, it's just one of those things. So they were plugged in before I got out there. I'd already knew about the Chili Peppers, I think, or maybe I discovered them when I was out west. But I just always liked their energy and Flea and all that. I saw Flea one time driving down in Hollywood, and I was driving my piece of crap red pickup truck, and I had my hair all out, and I was looking kind of wild. And I see Flea, and I'm like, yeah, like something when I see him, it scared the living pee out of him. He's like, he's one of those people that he just, he instead of going, yeah, dude, he was just like, like, who is this crazy redneck yelling at me? So yeah, that's my take on that. But this Sunday at 8 a.m., the interview with James Michael from the group 6 a.m. So don't let that confuse you. It's the same breakfast dudes, breakfast chicks. This Sunday morning, we're gonna air that. Um, yeah, I've heard other people say that he freaks out if people come up. He'll be up around 11 a.m. Well, right on, Christian. You can once it debuts, it'll be available for everybody. Now, for people that want to watch the interviews early, and I've got one it's sitting in the can right now to be there for a couple weeks until this one plays, and then maybe I air it next week. But I'm going to stockpile these interviews. And if you join the channel as a member, if you become to the rock star level, which is the mid level, I think it's $6.99 a month, you're going to have early access to all the interviews. So it's going to be a super cool thing. And but man, yeah, I'm going to air it. I'm going to air it this Sunday. I want to launch the new year off strong. And man, here's the thing. James Michael from 6 a.m., producer for Motley Crue and Papa Roach, he reached out to me. I didn't reach out to him. He reached out to me and says, dude, I love your channel and all this. And I'm like, hey man, come on the channel. He said, I'd love to. So want to hear about which rock stars sold what items at the pawn shop for crack. Christian, that is an interesting subject. We saw, and see, Michael, who's P-Funk, we call him in here, but Michael Strong, we worked at the pawn shop together. And there were a lot of people that were in rough shape. And I'll tell you Chili Peppers story. So before, the guy that got me the job at the pawn shop was a guy named Al, right? And he worked at the pawn shop before me. And he said the Chili Peppers came in one day, and they had a show that day, and they needed like $20 or they needed $30. And, they were looking sketch and, twitchy and everything. And they're just begging him, hey man, we've got this boom box. Give us $30, and they're probably looking to score, right? And they didn't want to make the loan for him, but then they're like, okay, well, we'll make them a deal. And they said, look, man, you just give us $30 and we'll leave tickets for you down at Will Call. You'll have free tickets for the show. I'm like, okay, all right, we'll give you the loan. So they drove all the way down to Long Beach or wherever this show was going to be. And they get there. And of course, there's no tickets for them at Will Call. And these guys had, dumped this boom box at the pawn shop. So from what Al said, and this pawn shop is no longer, and so we can talk freely, but they said the next day they went back beat the crap out of that boom box. Just so chances are they probably never even came back for it. That's how things were back in the day. Yes, Happy New Year funeral. Glad to have you here, brother. There's some Blue Murder demos floating around with Ray Gillen as well. I'll tell you a Ray Gillen story, Badlands, right? I remember going to the Cat and Fiddle. P-Funk can tell you, you remember the Cat and Fiddle. It was an English pub on Sunset, away from the Strip, east of the Strip, kind of in the middle there before you'd leave Hollywood and go into West Hollywood. The Cat and Fiddle was this English pub. And I remember leaving one night. It was probably, I don't know, 12 o'clock or, it was pretty fairly late. And I see Ray Gillen, the singer for Badlands. He's a tall dude, big dude with the hair. I mean, I knew who it was. And I see him, and he's got two girls, one on each arm, and they're helping him. They're getting out of some little shit box, but they're getting out of the shit box and going into the Cat and Fiddle. So you can comment on that. It's a tragic story about him, but when I saw him, he was like that, dude. And they were tall, good-looking women. Yeah, Trey, thank you so much. Rock and roll into the new year, Brad. Would love to collab sometime. All right, Trey. Sounds good, brother. I'm going to have to bop over to your channel. Cat and Fiddle was a cool place across from Guitar Center. The Cat and Fiddle has played its last tune. Michael, if I remember correctly, it was El Compadre that's across from Guitar Center. I think Cat and Fiddle was even further east. Because remember, across from Guitar Center was all those other guitar shops and El Compadre. But I could be wrong. But yeah, that's what I remember, man. Oh, you low-key know Carmine a piece. Very cool, very cool. Thank you so much for that super chat, Trey. I'll have to bop over to your channel and check it out sometime. Yes, how many people have been out to LA in the chat? Were there gangs around Hollywood back in the day? I hear there are Mexicans out there. Dawson, there was always gangs, but not so much in parts of Hollywood. Yes, you could say, Michael, remember, yeah, you're right, Michael, the Carvin place. Michael, remember, what was that street? It wasn't Yucca. Was it Yucca? What was that street where they would sell dimes? What was the name of that street? I can't. Aztec or Yucca or what? There's a street there. I can't think of the name. I can't think of the name of that street, but you used to just walk through there, and guys would have stuff hidden under cars and Cherokee. Yes, Cherokee. So I guarantee Cherokee was gangs. I guarantee you it probably was who was keeping that little It's a little operation where you just walk through and, it was, and so, yeah, I would say that was probably the closest we ever came to that stuff. But if you did have to go to South Central, you'd make sure you were riding with your friend. Like Bird took me down to South Central a couple of times. So, you'd have to be careful, man. Have to be careful. Yes, Steve, I've told the Racer X story many times. I have told that story many times. Oh, look who we've got. Oh, we bring in.
You can lock your.
Is she still sleeping?
Yeah, she's sleeping. You can lock your child out, but you can't lock your wife out.
Yeah, I can. My wife says I can lock the child out, but I can't lock the wife out. Okay, are we showing the patient?
Yeah.
We have an injured patient.
Oh, just a baby.
This is Ace, and he's a tripod right now.
He's not. You're making making him sound like he's just,
he's
like,
got a
don't.
he's got a
He's not.
bum leg, but
He,
we have
he
to so
actually, yeah.
we have to baby him for about 4 to 6 weeks because he had a fall and his one of his hind legs got injured. So
Fractured.
fractured. So yeah, that's that's
He is a
he but you know
Christmas.
what? He because he's so young, he thinks he's invincible still. He still wants to race around and act like an idiot. And we have to prevent him from doing that. Ah, aloha from Makawao, Maui.
Oh wow,
Maui
cool.
Wowie is in the house. Right
Oh,
on. I was out covering my fig trees with leaves.
oh
Ah, it's
yeah, it's
hard to catch
cold.
up. Cheers from California, Daryl. Where are you in California? I see a little ace. See, he
Yeah.
likes. He's still feisty. Look,
Oh yeah.
he's chewing.
It's like I have an infant here. I'm
He's now
like
has an infant,
rocking him in my
and and
rocking chair with my heating pad on my back because
and
my daughter was kicking me in the middle of the night 2 nights ago.
so yeah, so now she's got Mia's getting jealous because we're having to baby this thing.
Yep.
This is our a tiny child.
I'm like rocking him to sleep
Yeah.
every night, rubbing his
He's
belly.
more of a he's chilling right now. He's happy, yeah, because he loves this thing. He could
Yeah.
chew on that thing for hours.
And Mia's out down for the count. Didn't even make it till 8.
Didn't it? Yeah, she got up this morning and says, "I will never go to sleep on New Year's Eve." And I'm like, okay. Did you ever mention anything with the Penelope Spears film, The Metal Years? I have Dana. Thank you so much.
Oh,
Happy
that
New
was
Year.
nice.
Yes. Happy New Year. Try to hit the. It's not easy. There we go.
Oh,
Hit the
the love.
thing. Any Sabotage story? I don't really know Sabotage that well. I
Who's
don't.
Sabotage?
It's a band. It's a metal
Oh,
band.
wow.
People ask me, and hey, do you know a story about this band, or you know a story about that one? Randy O was in Metal Years, right? Yes, he was in Decline. He's the guy in the hot tub. You can't miss that scene. It's right next to the Chris Holmes scene. Sabotage from Florida. Yeah, I don't know those guys, Chris. I
We're
don't know.
having Rick Beata on the channel next week though.
Yeah, right. No, don't spread
I'm
rumors
just
like
kidding.
that.
I'm just kidding. No, I'm just kidding. It's really gonna be Paul Abdul. No, that
No,
would be
it's not going to be. Ever run
that
into
would be
Lemmy?
mine.
He ever run into Lemmy? Yes,
Oh.
all the time. All the time. I would. A few times I hung out with him and a couple of people, and I've told that story on the channel and talked to him sitting at the bar before.
Oh, at
and,
the Rainbow?
Yes, at the
Oh
Rainbow.
yeah. Mia's
Yes.
been to the Rainbow.
Play a little Old Lang Syne later on, lead. Yeah, Big D. I don't know if that's going to happen. We got a sleeping girl in the other room. And I frankly, I would have to dust up on the melody of that. My buddy's sister dated Randy O back in the day. Well, right on. Okay.
There we go.
Your buddy's sister. Is she, how is she doing? Is she still mentally sound?
Should we have her on the show?
Should we have her on the show, dude? I tell you what, we'll get your buddy's sister and we'll get Randy O live and she can
But
tell.
is Randy O married now? I don't know.
He is. He is.
Okay, that
yeah.
may not be a good
No,
day.
that might not be a good day. Thank you. That's Jaden Hancock. Thank
Happy
you. What
New
up, man?
Year,
So glad I
Dave.
found your channel, man. Thank you. We're getting so many new people popping into
Yeah.
this channel that it's amazing. Look, we got 86 people in here right now. Let's get the
Wow.
thumbs up. I want to see a Medeski, Martin, Bad Brad, and Wood show. I would like to see that too. Yeah, Rev says that's probably not a good idea. Yeah, nice. Almost 100 on the chat. That's right, Vito. That is right. We're getting a good amount of people. Happy New Year, Shadow. Yeah, I've noticed this morning the algorithm took the video I put out this morning and kind of took it for a ride, and people were saying, "Man, this just showed up in my feed," and like the algorithm was, going. Yeah, we need more likes though. And look. You can help this channel grow by hitting the subscribe button. Have you ever played on Awkward Gig, and how did you get through it? Have a celebration of life gig Saturday, and just me and my guitar. Dwayne, those are tough, man. But you know what? go in prepared. Go in extremely prepared. That could be awkward, but you know what? Think of it as a noble thing, and think of it as you're doing a great service. You're providing some music to soothe people to the show, and just take it serious. You know, that's the best advice I can give you. Awkward, all gigs are awkward at times. It can always be awkward. There's always somebody that's awkward or is difficult to deal with. Thank you, Joe. It is gonna be great. 2025 is gonna be awesome, right?
It is, and hopefully ACDC will be back to running around and just doing his nonsense with Mia every day because she keeps saying I want him to. How does she say it? She goes, I want him to fetch. I want to fetch him his toy. I'm like, you mean you want him to play fetch? So, yep. Oh, asking how did we meet?
Do you want to tell that story?
Sure, I'll tell the shortened version here.
Okay.
But essentially, 2 years before we started dating, a friend of mine from college called me up and said, I'm gonna be in Tampa. She's visiting from Texas. You gotta come see this band. I'm like, what band? And she's like, oh, you'll like them. They're country. I'm like, okay. So we go to what was it called?
The Roundup.
The Roundup. So in the Roundup is a country bar. It is closed now, but it was in Tampa. And when I was in college, I went to college right outside of Tampa at St. Leo University. So we'd always gone there. We're used to hanging out there. So we met. Brad's like sending me Facebook friend request, and then 2 years go by. We don't really talk. I think he likes a couple of my pictures. Stalks me on Facebook. The usual.
Oh yeah, the stalking, bro.
Yeah.
Dude, I was stalking. I was stalking her, bro.
Yeah. Then I don't know somehow.
No, but you're blowing over a lot of fun details.
Well, I'm getting to the point. Actually, the New Year's story. So
you're still blowing over the past that I was this lunatic with long hair and a black beard.
Chugging, what was that?
Chugging Fireball straight out of the bottle.
And I was asking you to get me a hot dog.
She was hungry and kept going, I'm hungry. We didn't eat dinner. And I'm like, well, who doesn't go eat dinner before you're going to go party?
We went to go have drinks at the Cheesecake Factory.
They made a big mistake.
Didn't get food. We prioritized martinis over food.
So she's like going, I'm hungry. And I'm like, I don't have food. I'm like pounding booze.
Then he was like,
and all that.
He's like, the bus is leaving. He's like, are you on or are you off? I'm like, oh, we're definitely off because I don't know where the hell you're going and I'm not that drunk.
You guys went, were staying somewhere in that town or something.
My apartment in Ybor City. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So we had to get back there.
Yeah.
But either way, Brad was texting me in November of 2015. I said, I'm going to a Christmas party with my boyfriend. He's like, dump your boyfriend. I think he kept saying that. And then finally, in December, like a month later, I did dump my boyfriend, and Brad called me up like 3 days, I think, before New Year's. I was in Florida. I was in my swimming pool talking to him on my phone, and he said, well, just come visit for New Year's Day. I'll fly you in. I'm like, who are you? Like, I don't even know you. I'm like, I have plans.
You knew who I was.
Well, I did, but we hadn't
we
hadn't gone out. Like,
we've been talking
just on the phone for like a week, and you're asking me to just jump on a plane and
why not?
Right? Well, my best friend, because I had to drive from Cocoa Beach to Tampa for New Year's Eve. So my best friend took pictures of me the next morning and wrote down, she's a PR public relations manager. So she's like, in case you end up on Dateline, I'm taking pictures of you.
Girls always say that. Oh, you could, look, that would be.
She's like, whatever you're wearing, I'm writing it all down. Yeah.
There's a paper trail. You don't, if you're going to do something dastardly, you don't have them fly to you.
But here's the best part. So Brad picks me up at the airport. He's shocked that I'm wearing flip-flops. I came from Tampa.
It was freezing. It was January in Nashville. She had no coat. She had no shoes.
I was coming from Florida, and I wasn't prepared for this winter blizzard.
I had to take her to buy clothes. I had to buy shoes.
We go to this mall that was a little sketch, but it was like near the airport.
No, I took you to a nice mall. The one I took you to Cool Springs.
No, you did
I bought
not.
you shoes in Cool Springs.
No, you
Oh,
did
we got
not.
a new Blues King, Lauren. Thank you
Woo.
for joining.
No, and then
Jimmy Ray, thank you so much, brother.
And
Happy
then
holidays and Happy New Year. Thank you, sir.
you told the woman in the shoe store as soon as we walked in, you're like, "This is my daughter. I
Oh,
want to
yeah.
find her a great pair of shoes." And then as soon as she walks away and she's about to come back, he's leaning over and kissing me, and she's like, "Oh, like, what am I witnessing here?" I'm like, "He's not." I said, "He's not my dad," and she goes, "Oh, honey, they never are." I was like, this is not some Pretty Woman moment.
Hey, woman.
Anyways, well, we'll let you guys get back to it. Happy New Year. Thank
Happy
you all
New
for
Year.
supporting the
Thank
channel.
you and she is slowly but surely getting her
Well, my
channel
videos
cooking.
are awful, but
I'm offering to help her. She hooked me up with the Charvel back there and said I'm going to be editing her videos. I'm waiting for her to send me one to edit.
I have one of my videos that actually got to 400 views.
She got 400
I'm
views.
pretty
It's
excited.
pretty good.
It's not a great video, but the content is
How do
there.
I look without my wig? She asks. Tell him about my hair.
What about your hair? Oh, so Brad, he washes his hair, and that's about the extent of it.
That's all I do. I just wash it.
It's kind of sickening. I mean, he doesn't spend there hours blow drying it, flat ironing it, styling it, putting mousse and goop in there.
Mousse and goop, bro.
Yeah.
That's my new album, Mousse and Goop. Dude, get my new album, Mousse and Goop.
It's the truth. But anyways, in this new year, hopefully the Packers beat the Detroit Lions.
Are the Packers even doing anything?
Yes, they get a pass into the playoffs. Is what
they get a pass into the playoffs. Oh, they just...
I'm using all the technical terms, obviously.
Yeah,
but
they've made it into the playoffs.
Well, no, they got like I don't know what the technical term is, a secondary chance. I don't know. But the Lions are somehow number one in the conference. So it's a little disturbing.
Okay, the Lions are shocking everybody. What?
He said, "Go Lions."
Yeah, but he says Packers. So there's...
Oh, no. Well, yeah, there you go. All right, get the Packers comments up. Pack is back.
I'll root for the Packers, but I liked them better when they had Aaron Rodgers.
Everybody liked it. Well, what about...
But now Aaron Rodgers, his career's over.
It was really the far...
How much for the doggy? 3 G's, bro. You got to have the wig to get the gig, Ulysses. Yeah, I like Favre too.
We do
I
like
liked
the
Favre
Bucs.
before I liked Aaron Rodgers. And then once Favre was gone, I had to root for Aaron Rodgers. But I don't... yeah, we got a lot of people from Wisconsin in here.
Oh, really?
Great takes on music. Thank you, Mick.
Oh.
Mick Cricket, MC400 Cricket. Thank you. Happy New Year. Yeah, I like Favre. I like Rodgers.
Wisconsin there too.
Yeah, we got a lot of Wisconsin.
Where in Wisconsin? Are we talking up north, Milwaukee, Madison? That's where I'm originally from.
Ed Gein was from Wisconsin. So was Jeffrey Dahmer, bro.
Wisconsin Dells.
So was Dahmer, bro. Dahmer was in Wisconsin. Go Vikings.
Go Family Land. Go Noah's Ark.
We got Favre for 10 minutes and it was terrible. Yeah, well, these guys always do really good somewhere and then they go cash out for a year.
Madison.
And then it's over.
I did live in Madison for a little while. I think I was forgot if I was on the west or the east
Go
side.
Celtics.
Oh my
From
God.
Ladysmith, Wisconsin. Right on, Chris.
I don't know where Ladysmith is, but maybe more up north.
Can I recognize the accent? Anyone can recognize the...
Madison
Or, you
East
know,
Coast.
or,
Oh,
you know,
wow.
her brother is really, or, you know, well, you know, that her brother is like full on
No, he is
Wisconsin.
not.
Yeah, he goes, oh, you know.
He does that.
He does. He goes, oh,
We
you
still
know.
have to introduce Brad to Wisconsin Dells, and we have taken him
Dells,
to
bro.
Potawatomi Casino.
Dude, you're getting a Wisconsin Dells. Happy New Year, Tim Hardiman. Hey, brother, how you
Hi.
doing? We miss you in Nashville.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to everybody. This is the grown folks' New Year's Eve party. This is not. None of us are in. A lot of us in this room probably won't make it till midnight. They've got a fireworks display in our neighborhood.
That's the second
we'll probably
fireworks
sleep through it.
display. There was
Yeah, they had one for the
powder.
kids. They had one for
Powder
the kids
puff?
today. Powder puff or some nonsense.
Yeah. New
The
Year.
band Garbage is from Wisconsin. I did not know that.
I didn't know that either.
Yeah, it's amateur hour, Tim Hardiman.
Yeah.
Even if you're a drinker, it's amateur hour tonight. It's like wait till the next day. That's what we did. So
Yep.
our first date was New Year's Day. She went out with her friends on New Year's Eve and then flew to Nashville and we partied. We partied, did our own celebration that night in Nashville, right?
Yep.
Where did we go? Did we go to Red Door?
We started at Edley's. We went shopping on Ellingston by where's the
Elliston.
Elliston, yeah, the really popular, what is it called?
Exit
The
In.
Exit In.
Yeah.
And you got me that white fur coat.
I got her this fake fur coat because she had no coat.
Oh, from what was that store? It's amazing. Everyone should know it. They got to go to it.
It's not there on that street.
Well,
anymore,
they
though.
moved it to
Music City Thrift or whatever. Hey, he's wanting to do his.
Oh, he wants his bone. All right. Well, Happy New Year. Thank you, everyone.
Yeah, thank you,
See you
everybody. I'll stay here for a little bit, but you'll be in bed before 10, Denny says. Right on. So that was our special guest. Thank you, Aaron. Yeah, I love that. The Red Wolf Gang. Where is that? I got it right here. I need to play this more. But I tell you what, I like the Strat shape better than the Wolfgang shape. But one thing that is cool about this is it's a candy apple red Wolfgang, and you don't see these every day. But I like the guitar, but I just I feel better playing the Strat shape, and I liked the original EVH Axis neck better than I like this neck. But this is a cool guitar. It definitely needs to play more. Yeah, they said, Beato doesn't like the yacht rock term. I like the yacht rock term because now that I'm older, I like to think I'm more sophisticated, and I'm not trying to ride in Camaros. I'm trying to ride in yachts, right? So I like the fact. Here's the thing, man. The greatest yacht rock ever created is Steely Dan. That is the be all end all yacht rock. Now, Donald Fagen hates that term. He hates it. But it is the greatest, and there is no other band that is as good as Steely Dan. There is no other band that's that good in that genre. So, that's the lament. I listen to yacht rock radio, but it's not as good as the Steely Dan is the best thing. I don't mind the term hair metal. I didn't mind that. I mean, I don't mind. It's just a moniker, man. But what I did mind is that every band on the Strip got called hair metal. We all got called hair bands. And some of them were the typical hair band, and some bands weren't. Your badass Two Brothers band. All right. Funeral. That sounds cool. Massive Hassle. That was, I watched part of that Rick Beato thing. Question Room. What was the final yacht rock hit of the era? I don't know. To me, genres don't end with a time period. Like Steel Panther is still a hair metal band, and they're still putting out records. So, that's that thing. So I don't know. Yeah, Soundgarden got called grunge, but they were better than that. Christopher Cross is good, and there's some good songs. Then they play some good stuff on the satellite, the yacht rock radio, but none of it is as good as the Steely Dan stuff, especially the Asia album stuff and the Gaucho album stuff. That stuff, it's just hard to beat that. Well, I think in his opinion, they make it like a joke, but I don't see that. I mean, look, man, they make hair metal a joke. They make yacht rock a joke. They make whatever. They can make grunge a joke. I mean, it's all just labels, man. And I don't care what somebody. Hey, it's like they say. What is it? Call me whatever you want. Just don't call me late for dinner. It's like So that is that, man. But man, I tell you what, it's been a amazing 2024. Rehooking up with some of my old friends on here, like Dave and Michael Strong, and yeah, Royal Scam is a really good album. That is a good one, and Pretzel Logic is a really good album. But man, Asia, the recording of that, it's like perfect, dude. And Gaucho is underrated. And the Night Fly, Donald Fagen's solo record, the Night Fly. And I tell you what, I like Everything Must Go. That Steely Dan album. That's a later album that they recorded years later. That's a great record, man. It's got some great songs on it. So it is what it is. 94 people in here. Let's get the likes up. Look, we need to get the subscribers up. We need to get the members. If you'd like to become a member of this channel, members at the first level, which is Blues King, they get access to about 30 videos that are as of yet unreleased and may never be released. Bunch of Sunset Strip stuff, bunch of wild stories, bunch of stuff that, I just say, man, I just recorded it. Chris is asking, do I like Crocus? I do like Crocus. I think I bands like that, just there's something about it. To me, it's humorous. Like the Screaming in the Night video, I think that is so ridiculous and so over the top. And I just absolutely love that video. The Crocus Screaming in the Night video. If you have not seen that and you want trip on something, that is a hilarious music video. Georgie Porgy by Toto, great song. Michael, he could have been. That is one take supposedly, and Steve. Here's what you'll like. Here's what I do know about that, Michael. So he played on that stuff, and I remember hearing Steve Gadd said he was partying big time back in those days, and he would fly out to L.A. and make a bunch of money. He could continue partying, and he had played on Asia. Right? It's Asia he did the big drum solo on. He played on that and he nailed it in one take and left the studio. And down the road, they were sitting there working on the mix, and Steve Gadd happened to be in the studio on another session. And they said, hey man, come on in here and listen to this. And they played it for him. And he goes, wow, man, that's great. Who's on drums? He had no recollection that he had played drums on that. He had no recollection of doing that. And here's a funny little side story about this. The same drum tracks, the same drums, the same studio, same day of, he tracked the drums on You Make Me Feel Like Dancing by Leo Sayer. Think about that. You Make Me Feel Like Dancing. And then the next session is Asia. So your drum set gets set up, and the first producer comes in and he goes, here's our track, You Make Me Feel Like Dancing. And it's a disco. It's got a cool syncopated, almost like that Paul Simon kind of groove disco thing going on there. And he does that session, records. That became a #1 song. And then the next producer comes in and they record the Asia Steely Dan thing. So how about that for 2 songs being recorded back to back on the same drums, same drummer, same studio, same day? I love both of those songs. I still like to hear You Make Me Feel Like Dancing. It's got Larry Carlton on guitar. It's got Ray Parker Jr. on guitar. And Steve Gadd. I don't even need to know who plays bass at that point. I mean, if somebody knows who played bass on that, dude, that's already a sick rhythm section. Am I a fan of country western? It's okay, Shadow. It's not my first choice. How would you rate Paul Simon as a guitar player? Well, he wrote a lot of great songs, so I guess he'd be pretty good. Yeah. So yeah, Michael, next time you listen to it, listen to the drums. That drum sound, it's the same drum sound. Chris, thank you for being here, brother. Very much appreciated. Very much appreciated, Chris. Chris is awesome. 94 people, 80 likes. Let's get the thumbs up. Let's keep the party going for a little while, right? I mean, this is the grown folks party. This is the thank you, Thomas. Thank you, Thomas Henderson. Glad to have you here. Yes, indeed. Happy New Year. Hey, P Funk, send send Thomas a Happy New Year. That's the guy you called and said, "This is P Funk, man." Yes. So Pops P Funk is here, and I don't. Hopefully, he remembers that term is demeaning the bands, completely offends Donald Fagen. I get it, Sean, but man, for me, I don't take it that serious. If I was one of those bands, I'd put out a friggin' album of me standing on a yacht. I would be proud of being yacht rock. I mean, in some ways, it's certainly less demeaning than being a hair band. Hair bands, you're automatically dismissed. They know the yacht rock guys can play. That stuff, a lot of it's not easy to play. Yeah, yeah, I would say, Bo, if you can get, yeah, and Dave is here. The strong Michael P Funk, Mikey is here. So yeah, that's my pops has popped into the room. Hank Jr., Clint Black, George Jones, Hank Williams. Man, I like the old school country. I do like the old school. And I was listening. What was I listening to? I listened to the song 6 Days on the Road, and I'm gonna make it home tonight. But I listened to the old version of that. Yeah, I hope my dad remembers that. I hope he does. I might have to call him tomorrow and remind him of that. Ah, we're having this is the grown folks. Um, when you were in LA, did you have a rehearsal spot? No, we didn't. We had our own spot that our manager was like covering the cost of. Did you hang out at the Rock era of New York, New Jersey? Trippy, my only time being in New York around that time was I went to New York around probably 78 or 79 to visit my aunt. And we went to a punk rock store and I bought a bunch of skinny ties. And I think I bought a Stiv Bators t-shirt. So that was the punk rock era. That was my only time in New York as far as that scene. Are you ever going to play in a band in Tampa? That's a good question. Uh, Dirko, I did. There was a guy on Facebook who posted. I belong to a couple musician groups on Facebook in Tampa, and a keyboard player, an R&B keyboard player, was posting looking for players for a band. So I shot him a message. I said, "Dude, I'm kind of busy, but you're playing the kind of stuff that I want to play." And so I've touched base with that guy. And then through me responding to that guy, I had another person hit me up and want to start a duo. Well, y'all know how I feel about singles and duos. I'm really not looking to do that. But I told her, I told the person wanting me to back, it was a female singer wanting me to back him. I said, "Look, I got to make a certain amount of money to warrant me going to play these gigs. And I've only got, a certain window. I'm not going to rehearse with somebody 5 nights a week to go play once a month." Uh, so the Shock House, Dave, was owned by Jim, our manager, right? And Jim owned the auto body shop, and Jim, managed the band, and he owned the Shock House, and we would pay rent. We paid rent to our manager for the house. I think my rent was like 200 a month or something like that. And but what's funny is one day Jim's little brother and Greg's little brother Tony shows up and goes, "Okay, guys, I've bought the house, and you guys, I'm raising the rent." It's like, I was like, dude, you can't raise the rent. Let me show you my room. I've got slats in the windows, and the heat is, I can't keep the room cool, and I can't keep it hot. It's like an oven I'm roasting back there, and I've got no floor, you know. And he goes, "Oh man, yeah, I see. Oh man, I see what you're saying." And so then he just kicked everybody out of the house. And so Tony, the little brother, I think somehow the manager owed money to Tony, maybe for some accelerants or something, and maybe that's why all of a sudden Tony owned the house. But that was basically the end of the Shock House at that time, because once Tony once Tony decided he was gonna yes, I think that's Michael, I think that's how the Shock House changed hands. I think they literally Jim got in debt with Tony, and Tony just said, all right, well, give me the house. I mean, it's kind of crazy, but and you know what? From the last time I talked to Greg about Jim, when the dad died, when the old man Baboosh died, the big Kahuna, Jim went down the toilet, and from what I understand, he was living in an RV off the side of the road or something. And this was decades ago. I heard this. I don't know if he's still around or not. I don't know. They had one, two, three. There were four brothers. So I don't know if they're all still around. Not sure if he. Yeah, who they asking about? Paul. Yeah, Paul. So I think Paul had a bad day at work because he left me some messages on some of my videos, and he just said, "Man, I'll see you tonight, but I'm not good. I had a bad day at work." And I'm like, "Man, that sucks." It's like, dude, I hope you feel better. So yeah, Paul is not here, and Mike has a gig tonight. So Dave, you were the lone moderator in the room. We'll probably make Michael a moderator at some point. It was Betty White that lost the house. Yeah, it was Whitey Herzog. It was Gomer Pyle that lost the house. Gomer Pyle, you guys get it? Or we used to say Whitey Herzog. Good morning, Maxwell. Where are you that it's morning? Because it's evening. We's in the evening, as they say down south. We's down here in the evening. Do you think country western is in decline in terms of going in the same direction that glam metal went? I just think everything's getting homogenized. And I think everything is being honed into the same slop. You used to be able to get hamburger meat and you could tell that it was meat. And now you're getting this stuff that looks like pink slime. Call it pink slime, right? I think all music is getting homogenized into pink slime. And pretty much all you'll be able to get at the grocery store is the pink slime. So I don't think, it's not keeping its unique style. What do you think about today's funk that is all in the jam band community? Well, John, what are you saying? Like Corey Wong and Mark Lettieri, and what's some of those other groups? Is that who you're talking about? Yeah, I don't know. Lettuce. Well, Lettuce is cool, but I didn't really even know who they were until I started playing in the BB King All Stars in Nashville, and then people were like, "Oh, you need to learn this Lettuce song." Yeah, it's Government Slime instead of Government Cheese. What about Spin Doctors? I never really thought the Spin Doctors were funk. I never really thought that they were funky. Snarky Puppy. Now those kind of bands are great. There's a lot of those kind of like good bands like that. And I think maybe out of all those guys, I do like Mark Lettieri's playing. I do like his playing a lot. I can relate to the way he plays guitar a lot. So that's if I'd have been around, if I'd have been a young man around his age, that's probably the path I would be taking. Mutt Lange and Shania put country. Um, yeah, maybe so, Rev. But I think if it hadn't have been for Mutt Lange, somebody else would have done it. I just think everything. What are my thoughts on Glenn Hughes, the legendary bassist? He's incredible. Jazz fusion has a lot of funk to it often. Yes, it does. Johnny Guitar Watson. Now, I love Johnny Guitar Watson. A real mother for you. Uh, P-Funk. Have you ever heard Johnny Guitar Watson? You ever listen to that? P-Funk, tonight, when you get in a funky mood, put on Real Mother For Ya. Put on that by Johnny Guitar Watson. That is a funky track, dude. It is. I used to love playing. I used to play that song in Nashville a lot. Yeah, I like Mark over Corey. Corey's right hand is cool, but I like to be able to hear those lines. He bought my son a Gretsch Electromatic for Christmas. First electric axe, not bad for the money. Those are great. I love that. I've got a Gretsch Electromatic over here in one of these gig bags. I love those guitars, man. Mutt Lange is one of the greatest of all times. He's done so many amazing records. He absolutely has. And he's got his own stamp. It's a good one, isn't it, Mike? Yeah. Yeah, I love Johnny Guitar Watson is one of those underrated guys. And did you know that Johnny Guitar Watson died on stage? I heard that he had said, "Ain't that a bee?" And there's a line in one of his songs, and he dropped on stage. And I even did some went down a rabbit hole one day and found an interview with one of the musicians that was there on stage with them. I think he was in Japan, and he was playing, and all of a sudden he just dropped. And they surrounded him, and they were like, it's like his soul was just lifting right out of his body. Dude, that's crazy. Yeah, Colonel Bruce Hampton. And Colonel Bruce Hampton died while that kid was playing a guitar solo. I mean, dude, that was yeah, he died. It was the grand finale. I guess if you gotta go, I guess there's worse ways to go, but it's a shock for the audience, dude. Imagine that. Glenn Hughes at the Tupelo front row. Some ladies were loving him. I bet, Dave. You could use if you guys were single, and I think Michael's single. You could use Joe as bait. Mike Shipley was amazing as well. Much engineer. I don't know. I'm not familiar with his engineer, but he would have to be good. Yeah, it's some way to go on stage like that, dude. I guess there's worse ways to go than that. You're entertaining a crowd, and if as long as it's quick, it's not that bad. So we've got 95 people in here. That's epic, man. And I'm gonna keep it rolling because this is the grown folks. Glenn has a great soulful voice. Yes, he did. Yeah, the Crusaders are great. Cool guitar by Larry Carlton on that funk. Yes, indeed. I love Larry Carlton, dude. Uh, Loving Joe. Yeah, the ladies love Joe. That's the name of his Joe's new album. Ladies love Joe. So yeah, man, we're having a good time here. Colonel Bros found so many great musicians. He did. He was Jimmy Herring. Yeah, those guys are all amazing. I saw Colonel Bruce Hampton with Jimmy Herring in a club in Nashville decades but right around the time I first got to Nashville, probably at about 94. So yeah, dude, dude. Yeah, I saw it's a killer band. He said they smelled like beer. Yeah, I bet they did. Dan, how you doing, brother? I'm a drummer with a hangover. Amen, brother. Eclipse. Brother, we've got a lot of we've got a few Australians that have popped in, and like I said, y'all are already in the future. Y'all are already in 2025. Tell us, how is 2025? Yeah, Yeah, that's the other one, Phoenix. I wasn't gonna mention that, but, that happens. Alexei, how you doing? Finland. Dude, it's just amazing that we get people from all over the world, man. And that is the beauty. Awesome, Dave. That's wise because when we were kids, man, we didn't use ear protection or anything. We would crank stuff up, and you've got a cure for a hangover. Count. Cheers, brother. Cheers. I'll give you a cheers. This is what I'm drinking tonight, mate. There you go, mate. Ooh, 6 days on the road, and I'm gonna make it home tonight. That song was really groundbreaking, and that's a country song that's been covered by about six different artists. Um, oh yeah, Michael. Um, but it's got that line, "I'm taking little white pills in my eyes." It's really right on, Dean. It's really ahead of its time, man. Because if you see the original version, I forget who did the original version. Uh, 2025 seems better than 2024. Now I got a question. This is a little bit of a bizarre question. Everybody's talking about this fog. Have you, as people over in Australia, are you guys getting fogged out? Because everybody in the States, and I noticed in England, the fog, dude. Anybody noticing that? I mean, I've been getting a little tickle in my throat. It's almost like I don't want to go for a walk out there. Europe, etc. Yeah, everybody's complaining about this fog, dude, and they claim they're getting sick. I don't know, dude. I don't know. We had big fog a few days ago. We every morning here when I get up and I go outside, it smells like smoke. It's like a smoke smell. And man, I notice when I go out there for a long time or do a walk or something, it just seems like it's got that weird thing. Yeah, don't get me. I won't get you started, Maxwell. What was your favorite opinion on the decline of Western civilization, part two? Well, what do you mean, Shadow? What was my favorite opinion on it? I don't really know. I don't really know what you mean by that. So yeah, synthetic. I don't know if that's what it is, but yeah, people are complaining about fog. I've noticed it's all over Twitter and X. It's all over people posting footage of the fog and all that stuff. That's what I'm thinking the smoke smell is because there is a lot of construction here. This was like farmland, and I'm hearing they're burning like the trees and stuff like that to try to clear forest. So, I mean, it could be that. But man, it's acrid in the morning, dude. It's like you go out there and it's like, dang, dude, it's thick. It's thick, man. So I don't know, man. 111 people in here. I think we just broke a record. Can we break 100 likes? Can people that are watching yeah, stay. I hear you, Dave. I hear you. I am. I got you covered. Um, can we get 100 likes? That would be an absolute great way to end the year because I don't know if we've ever done that. Um, thank you, Demand. Dude, I just got a super clean SPX 90 and I'm rocking on that symphonic preset. Right on. Is that the one that Mike Stern uses? Does he use that? Right on, Michael. Hey, smoke them if you got them, bro. Smoke them if you got them. Uh, is that yeah, okay, so we got 106 likes, dude. We got smoke from Canadian wildfires. Yeah, that's probably going on too. Anyone YouTube Mud Fossil University? No, I don't know about that, SV. I don't know about that. Man, we're kicking ass, number 23. I had the privilege to record with Mike Hodges of J. Frank Wilson and the Cavaliers. Do you have a story about them? That song came out in 61, but they made it famous in 63. And Pearl Jam. Yeah, thanks, Dave. Um, I don't I don't know much about J. Frank Wilson and the Cavaliers. I don't know much about it because that's a little bit before my time. Oh, so Zach Wild uses the symphonic. Okay. I used to have not the SPX 90, but the tabletop version of that. And I used to use that symphonic preset for like choruses and stuff. It was a cool sound, but I know Reggie Wooten uses that, and I know Mike Stern uses something like that. So, yeah, that's a very real thing. Now let's see. Maybe I'll share this over on. Uh, you audition for Primus. I have a 1 in 5,000 chance. So 5,000 people have auditioned. That would be amazing. That would be amazing if you got that gig. I wonder. I wonder if they found the guy yet. I wonder. Yeah. Good luck, Eclipse. Best to you. Um, you can't fool Ma, Michael. You can't fool Ma. Right, Johnny. That's a good name for a band. J B Fog. She no fool, Michael. You can't fool. Hey, you never try to fool a fool. You know what I'm saying? You can't be fooling a fool. Got an invite to fly out to Cali to try out. Right on. Right on. So, man, I'm gonna crack open another one of these things. I'm curious, what is this button do? You can write stuff. Oh, I think you can do a timeout on this thing. Is that what that is? She's been busting us for decades, bro. You can't fool your mom, bro. You can't fool her, dude. You can't fool her, dude. Totally. That's good. I'm telling you what, dude. If you used to drink, this is just as satisfying as a beer without the hangover the next day. You drink this. I don't need to drink sodas anymore. I don't need to drink beer. I just take one of these. Now, what happens if they have a little button? Does anybody know on the YouTube live? They got a button. It looks like one of those things in the movies where you do a cut. It looks like maybe you could take a break with that thing. I don't know. I don't be knowing. I don't be knowing. Yeah, it's like a movie clip, like a director's thing. Clap slate. Yes, they've got. It looks like they got a clap slate on there, and I think it's a cough button. I don't know if it's a cough button. It's a clip. Yeah, it's a clip slate. Cut a clip for a short. Is that what it is? Not. See, I'm live right now on my phone. This is literally my cell phone. Might make shorts. I don't think so. I'm guessing maybe it's a timeout. Because I've heard there's a way that if you need to run to the latrine, as they say in the military, that there's a way to do that, but I don't know. Not that one. Here, man, take one of those. Oh, wait a minute, man, not that one. What do you mean, man? What did I just take, man? Hit it and let's see. Roger, it might mark the time code for short. I don't know, man. Why would they put a slate there? Why would they do that? There's also a touch-up button. I wonder if there's a filter. It's like a filter. Were you just a drinker back in the day, or did you experiment a little? Maxwell, I don't think you can be in the music business without experimenting a little, sir. Sir, let me tell you, sir. I think we all were experimenting, sir. I was conducting my own experiments, sir. Sir, I was merely conducting experiments like Sherlock Holmes, sir. I was merely experimenting. Sir, I beg you, sir. It was an accident, sir. Sir, I slipped and I fell and woke up 3 days later, sir. I was doing lots of research, sir. Sir, what I was trying to do was research, sir. Michael, that's a good album cover, right? Who is that? Who did that album? I forget. Which is that? Joe Walsh? Yes, sir. I had to do the foghorn, sir. I had to do the foghorn one time in 2025, 2024. Have you ever SS? Absolutely. How about during, bro? How about during, bro? Totally, bro. Dude, dude, totally, bro. Dude, I used to play. I used to play every Friday in a what's that area called? Now I can't think of the name of it. Midtown. Anybody know Nashville? You know the Midtown area where the Red Door Midtown is. Have we got any Nashville guys in here or anybody that's been to Nashville? I used to play a bar there every Friday night, and I used to get rip roaring on another level during the gig and all through the gig. And I was playing, in Nashville, there's a whole other scene of like R&B bands. And I knew those songs like the back of my mind, dude. I could go on automatic pilot and play one of those funk gigs all night long. And that's exactly what I did. So yeah, that's yes sir, indeed, sir. I was merely conducting experiments with my tolerance, sir, just seeing how much I could tolerate, sir. Yeah, we're at 76 minutes, man. But you know what? This is a salute. This is a salute to everybody that's tuned in to this channel. How's it going, Jay? I'm going to play along with the Beatles. Get back, right on. Yeah, man, this is a salute to everybody that's helped this channel, supported this channel this year. Man, it's a huge thank you to everybody because this has been an epic year of building this thing. And man, the dude, the interview I got this Sunday with James Michael, he goes, "Dude, your channel's gonna blow up." I'm like, "It has to. I don't have any other option but for this to happen." Um, Salute, sir. Do you like Beatles? Of course I do, Maxwell. I don't really mention them because they're not like it's not like one of those guys like once I heard the Beatles, that was it for me. I got into the Beatles probably even after I got into the Stones. So but I love the Beatles. I like their early stuff, but I'm a Stones guy. I was especially the 70s Stones, 1970 to 75, 78. In my opinion, maybe the last great Stones album was Some Girls. And you could argue that Tattoo You was a good album, but that was mostly retreads, mostly like stuff from the archives. Happy New Year's, Robert. For your viewers, if they want to make a clip. What is that? Uh, oh, Joe, thank you. Thank you, John. It's very much appreciated. Very much appreciated. We'll celebrate your third super on a live stream. Thank you, sir. Get your Yayas out is a great album. Goat's Head Soup is a great album. Hey, Paul. So Paul is here. Let's everybody give a big thumbs up. Everybody give a big salute to Paul. I was telling him, Paul, that you had a little bit of a rough day today, and we just want to salute Paul, lift him up, lift our brother up. Dude, here's the thing, dude. The year's over, bro. Tomorrow is another year, dude. So you can totally rise to the challenge, bro. Yeah, I know, dude. So Michael makes a valid point. Yeah, Leah, can you give Paul a little cheer him up? Let's cheer Paul up because I think Paul deserves it. Paul is a good dude, and I think I hate to hear it. Paul had a bad day, but he might not want to get into it. He probably wants to forget about it. Yes, give him. That's for Paul. See, Paul. Leah just gave you kisses, bro. He totally gave you. She totally gave you kisses, bro. 2025 is the future, man, and it's gonna be good. It's gonna be good. It's gonna be good. It's gonna be good, dude. 2025 is gonna be awesome. I don't even know if you guys can hear that because I got it like whisper quiet because my daughter's sleeping in the other room. We recently got into Oasis. I missed the bus on how great these are. I like Oasis because they were real. That's the best thing I can say about Oasis, and we need bands like Oasis. So that era of British, rock or whatever it was. It was a great era because there were a lot of real bands, a lot of real edgy bands that would fight with each other and create drama and all that. Jay, I can't really crank it, bro, because my daughter's asleep in the other room. Play some Dorian Punctuated and Bendy. Well, once I add that note, it's not Dorian anymore. Who said less is more? So, oh, you guys can hear that? If Oasis could get back together. I tell you what, yeah, I wonder how much of those tickets going to be. That stuff is going to be very, very expensive. Happy New Year, Jazz Bass. Happy New Year from UK. You guys are already in 2025, right? We're over here and we're still stuck in 2024, bro. But we're coming. We're coming to join you. We're coming to join you, honey. And y'all won't get that one over there because y'all didn't have Sanford and Son. Yeah, I like that they fought, dude. I like the fact that those guys were battle. I'll tell you what band grew on me when I got older. Fleetwood Mac. Cool band, man. And a lot of different versions of Fleetwood Mac. Yeah, Scott, I Wonderwall is a popular song. Less isn't more. More is more. More is more, dude. More. What I tell you what, dude. What we should be doing. We should just get like a case of Ingve gummies and just ride it out into the ether. Just take gummies all night. Thank you, Eclipse. Thank you. Unleash the fury. You've unleashed the fury. Sanford and Son, you big dummy, you old Jeesley-eyed heathen. My favorite was Aunt Esther. Those two, man, I'm telling you what, dude. I don't know if how that humor would play over in across the pond. I don't know if y'all would get Sanford and Son, but we get that kind of humor in the States. It's a different. I'm sure you could probably create a Sanford and Son just using different ethnic groups in England, but it's a you old fish-eyed fool. Yeah, I always like that fish-eyed fool one. You old heathen. Yeah, that was glory, hallelujah. Right? Grady and Lamont. And I like Rollo. Y'all remember Rollo? And dude, the music, the intro to Sanford and Son. Yeah, that's a funky groove. Spirit of Crystal said, and the face of Halloween. Dude, I'm telling you what, dude, that was one of the all-time great shows. You can't beat that, man. I used to watch What's Happening. Yeah, I used to love Hi 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 and Rerun. I used to love the rerun dance where he'd do that, whatever that style of dance was. I used to love, and D was the star of What's Happening because she would always have the smart comebacks. It's Good Times was good too. A lot of man, we had a lot of shows that probably wouldn't translate. All those, those shows like Good Times and Sanford and Son and stuff like. Yeah, Barney Miller was cool, man. I used to like the Rockford Files. Anybody like that? It's all legato, dude. Dude, legato for days. Um, yes, Paul. Everybody sent. All in the Family was another great one. The Jeffersons. And there's nothing like that anymore. There's no edgy comedy like that. Real like good stuff. Now everything's so I don't even know. Do they even have comedies anymore? Yeah, every now and then I'll flick on something like that. Yeah, I used to like Rockford Files. I liked a lot of that stuff. They don't know what they missed. I mean, FMP is here, synthetic. Every time I see a janky old truck, I start imitating the Salmon Sun thing. Right on, synthetic. Uh, yeah, they can't. You can't. As they say across the pond, you can't take the piss out of them, right? You're taking the piss. Yeah, now we got a lot. We did get some of that British humor over here with the Monty Python and the Benny Hill and some of that stuff. And then what was the show that Dave liked? Was it the Wild Ones or something like that? Um, we were the latchkey kids, bro. That's the TV was the thing. But you know what, dude? Here's the thing. When we were kids, dude, I would hop on the bike and I would just go by myself, 10 miles away from the house on my bike. I didn't think twice about it. Of the young ones, is that what it was? Okay, yeah. It was a different time, bro. Cold Shack the Night Stalker was awesome. I love those bumbling detective shows, the Columbos and Randy. What's happening, brother? Thank you, brother. Thank you so much. Everybody, give a thumbs up to Randy O for dropping in. Randy O, this is the grown folks New Year's Eve celebration, just rounding out the new year. And man, Happy New Year, brother. Happy New Year. Best to you. He's got that big show coming up in LA. That is going to be awesome. I tell you what, who knows, man? I would love to get out to be at that show. Randy O, if you guys have any questions for him while he's popping in here, please let us know, man. Let us know, and we'll make sure we try to get it to him. He's got a new single out. Please give it a spin. Click on his name in the chat and subscribe to his channel. That will help him out a lot. Did Don Dokken produce Shining Love? That's a good question. Oh, he says no. Okay. That's interesting. That's interesting. I think, here's my theory, and Randy can answer this question. Shining Love reminds me of the arrangement, the beginning reminds me of You're No Good by Van Halen. Was that an influence on the intro to that song? Maybe Randy knows this from being in the room with those guys. That whole, whatever the intro is, that whole fading in with the volume knob with the chords. That's what it reminded me of. But I really like that tune, man. Happy New Year, John. They're still showing Magnum here. Right on. TV party, dude. Let's see if you knew had one of the best Eddie solos. Yeah, that is a good one. Play some of the best underrated band, TKO. I don't know any of that stuff, dude. And I used to drive our motorcycles down the train tracks a couple towns over and ride in the sand dunes. 14, yeah. I mean, dude, we were feral back then, dude. We just played VH You're No Good this morning. What's the best Marshall amp had in hearing 1987 X? What's the best Marshall amp head? Probably a Friedman. That's what, if I had to buy something, I would probably buy a Friedman. I would buy their Plex or whatever. Um, that's probably what I would use. That was probably what I would buy at this point. Last Marshall I bought, it didn't last but 1 gig. So Randy O is saying, yeah, I'm assuming he's answering the VH, the Van Halen question. That's when I heard that, it reminded me of You're No Good. Dave doesn't hand build them now. No, they haven't been. So you don't have to worry if he was sober. No, they're all the Friedman amps, all of the, I think is it Diesel? And all the Soldano amps are built by this, I think it's called Boutique Amp Company or something like that in California. They're all built in the same factory. So that is how those amps are manufactured. It's a company that manufactures these different brand name amps. And that's where those boutique manufacturing or something like that. Yeah, Boutique builds all those amps. Ever played a Dumble? I have not. You wanted to drop in Happy Early New Year, everyone. Thank you, Banished. Thank you. Do I still do finger exercises every day? It's been a couple days. I've been locked into the computer, and I've been churning out videos. If you tuned into my channel, you notice I'm stacking them deep, right? So, man, it's today was the first day in a couple days where I've actually picked up a guitar. Thank you, Marty. Thank you for being here. Yeah, the JCM Crunch. I love a Marshall amp, but and as I was saying before, the last one I bought, it lasted 1 gig. And I think that actually the last 2 Marshall amps I bought, I used them each on 1 gig, and I had to send them back because it just croaked. I just don't have time for that. Thank you, Marty. Thank you. So if I were to buy something like that, if I needed that tone, I buy a Friedman Plex, or the Friedman Small Box, or HBE, or the Jakey Lee amp. I would buy something like that. It is smoking. It's hard to keep up. Michael, somebody told me that at some point you have to put it on slow mode. So and what you can do, Mike, is you can stop it like that and then kind of like slow it down. I think at least that's how I'm doing it if I'm trying to catch up to it. Paul, I hope you have off tomorrow. I hope Paul has off tomorrow, because having a break. I know a lot of people are off tomorrow, and that's a good thing. Favorite distortion pedal? J Rocket the Dude version 1. J Rocket the Dude version 1 is my favorite distortion pedal, and the new ones are different. They don't have as much into the amp. That's my favorite. But hey, it's just what I like, you know. Good, Paul. I'm glad Paul has the day off. That is awesome. JCM 900 was my last part. Too many problems with tubes. Even had it bioed with groove tubes. I just need something to work. So I'm not saying that other amps don't have issues. I've had issues with probably every manufacturer, but I didn't have any problems with the Friedman amp that I used on the road. Didn't have any problems with that. I do like a big muff. I tell you what, I think if you had to say you can use a big muff or a Rat or a Distortion Plus as your only distortion pedal, I think I'd have to go for the Rat, because the Rat, one, you can actually get sort of a clon tone out of that. and I'll take the Rat over the Big Muff. Big Muff is a fuzz essentially. I've got an older one somewhere in storage, but I would take a Rat. I think you can get a really good '80s style distortion out of a Rat pedal. It's very versatile, a lot more versatile than the Muff. The Muff is either cranked and you crank it or that's it. But the Rat, you can get a lot more versatile tones out of it. They can get fuzzy. A Rat can do fuzz, but it can also do a tighter metal type tone. And what did somebody say? That Fesley has a decent clawing in it. I was surprised. Right on, Red. It has a lot of cool stuff. I use the Rat. Red, the JCM 800 sound that I used my rock sound in the video, that's got a Rat. The Rat that's in there, it's got that in the chain. And I don't know if that was in the stock preset, but I just liked it, man. And so, yeah, I like it, man. I tell you what, that is a cool sounding pedal. And everybody that's bought that Fesley FME 1000 has liked it. So, have you ever played any of my buddy Billy Rowe replica guitars? No, I'm not familiar with those, Sean. Tell me about them. Yeah, Rat can really drive an amp. I think of all the old school distortions, it's probably the best, especially if you get an old school one. Nuno has to have one on his rig. But he uses it just to tighten up the sound of his amps. He uses it unlike anybody else. Awesome guitar, Red. I'm glad. I'm so glad. Look, dude, at the discount price with my coupon code, if you guys want to check that out, it's a heck of a bargain because, man, you could tell they weren't not intending on selling that at like 200 bucks. That's a 299 pedal that you're getting for 200 bucks with my code. And the code is only good till January 25th. So, and it's what, 38% off or something crazy like that? Yeah, that's insane. Happy New Year. Randy, we will talk soon, brother. We will do something cool soon. Right on, man. You know what? That makes me want to pull out a Rat pedal. Uh, Michael, you know Corey Feldman's the greatest of all time. Man, we're having an awesome time in here, man. This is Happy New Year, Paul. Happy New Year to everybody. Boss pedal guy. You know what? People rag on it, but I like the Boss DS1. I think I can get good sounds out of that. Peace out, Randy O. Happy New Year, brother. Yeah, keep the videos coming, Randy. Keep plugging away, bro. That's what you got to do. Loving Jay Grayson. DS1 is great. Yeah, I like a DS1. Now, some people say, DS1, it's a basic distortion pedal, but man, into a Marshall amp, man, you can make that thing sound good, dude. Yeah, we appreciate you, Paul, and man, we're just glad that you're here. Uh, Thank you, Shadow. Thank you. Yeah, I think I've been on for almost 100 minutes. Just got to get good sound out of anything, Jimmer. That is the key. And I was talking to a guy, hired me, Freddie B, that watches our channel. It's on here sometimes. He hired me to help him with his tone, to help him with his pedal selection and all that. And I just explained to him, man, when you get on stage, whether you're using backline or somebody else's gear or whatever, you got to dial in a tone super fast. Yeah, SD1 is good. That's the thing with tone, man. You've got to immediately get on stage, dial in your amp, because, man, your rig could sound incredible at your house, and then you get up in a band, and the bass player's eating up frequencies, and the drummer's eating up frequencies, and your rig could sound like crap, and you've got to be able to very quickly make adjustments and make it sound good. Right on, synthetic. Right on. That sounds like an interesting evening. That sounds like fun, bro. Yes, bass, keys, and horns changes the whole thing, man. And once they get up on stage and start filling in frequencies, then you've gotta change everything up. So you need to be. The cool thing about the Fesley pedal is the knobs are all right there. So you can very quickly make some adjustments and dial in the tone. And that, I think that's important, man. Tone is one of the most important. Blackfoot custom amps. I have not, Jeremy. I have not. But man, we've been on 100 minutes. We've got 127 likes, and this has been absolutely yeah. It has a global EQ and a master volume. It absolutely does. So you can sculpt your tone with that thing, man. It's got a built-in drum machine. The looper is super easy to use. That even I could use it. Guys in East go first. If you make it okay, we'll follow you through here in the West. Well, let me tell you, a lot of the Australians that are tuned into this channel, they have already ridden into 2025. And thank you, Synthetic. Global means the global EQ setting means you can EQ the whole pedal and it'll dial in all the sounds. So you can very quickly, if you get to a gig and you realize all your presets are really bright, you can go to global EQ and bring down your highs or bring up your lows or whatever. So that's one cool feature of the FME 1000. Go check out the Fesley video on my channel, the Fesley FME 1000. It's at a discount code right now. It's a 299 complete pedal with expression and sounds and all that. And as I think it's a 38% or 28% discount code. Brad FME 1000. Amazon link is in the description. Check it out. Bud, glad to have you here. We're getting ready to check out. This has been the Grown Folks New Year's Eve celebration. Thank you, Paul. I hope you have a good rest of your evening. And thank you, everybody, for tuning in and making this an awesome 2024. 2025 is going to be friggin' awesome. So stick with us here. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. And have a great rest of your evening. Thank you so much. Have a great night. Thank you, guys. And I'll see